You are listening to the V-Cast.
Hey, we're back. Episode, I don't remember the number because I've actually been pretty consistent and it's not stuck in my head what episode we're at, but it's the V-Cast. Vic Cedeno. I am here again with a special guest, my boy Vinny Scarpa. What's up, Vinny?
What's up, my man? Real special over here. How we doing?
Real special. Is it just Vinny Scarpa? Do you have a middle name?
It's Alphonse, matter of fact.
Alphonse?
Yes, it's that's something,
That's a fucking great fucking, that's a
name.
classic
I told someone
Italian.
that. Yeah, of course. I told someone that the other day, and they were like, "Oh, you're a good Irish boy, aren't you?" I'm like, if you want me to be, I can be Irish.
Is Alphonse
No,
Irish?
he was fucking with me. He was fucking with me.
You fucking got me. I'm like, Alphonse is
You're
not
like,
a
is
fucking
it-
Italian.
is it,
Alphonse sounds like you should be singing fucking
Opera?
no, fucking. How can I not remember his fucking name? Fucking Old Blue Eyes. Like you should be doing a cover of
Louis
like,
Prima?
no, fucking Frank Sinatra.
Frank
bro.
Sinatra, yeah.
Like it's Alphonse. He's
It's
headlining. Alphonse.
Next to my right, we have Alphonse.
Vinny Alphonse.
Yeah.
it's just out like ALFONSE.
No F. There's a silent like.
F is for fags.
Yeah.
There's no Alphonse.
There's a PH in there.
Oh,
that's the
you're
ain't that
fucking
I'm fancy.
bro.
Holy
Holy
shit. French with it.
That's
you know?
Alpha, bro.
Alpha. That's Alpha.
Your middle name is
Hell
Alpha.
yeah,
as
fucking
fuck, bro.
Vinny Alpha Scarpa. That's what you call
Bro.
me. In Italian, it's Vincenzo Alfonso Scarpa.
That's a fucking heavy
like that
Italian
R-roll?
name, bro. Hell yeah. That's a fucking great.
No F. PH.
You should just
for
go.
Alpha.
You should just change your stage name to just Vinny Alphonse.
Vinny
Alphonse. Vinny Alpha.
Dude, you honestly, that's like a first I've heard that.
That's a sick fucking name,
Yeah.
bro. Vinny Alpha.
right? Vinny Alpha.
Yo,
Dude,
Vinny
hold
Alpha.
up, bro. What?
We're changing
That's
the game,
a game
bro.
changer right
That's
now.
a game changer. You know why? I talked to somebody that had a different name than their like last name, and I was like, "Why do you do that?" He was a teacher, so he's like, "I didn't want kids finding me."
my cover
seeing my
name.
shit. Yeah, I was like,
It's
bro.
my stage name.
I was like, "Can't you motherfuckers not get fired? Like,
Yeah.
you guys can like fuck kids and it's okay."
Right.
They just transfer you to
You
another
can
school.
definitely have sexual intercourse with them.
It's like
It's all
fucking
right.
priest.
Yeah. I mean, I had a stage name. It was like Vinny the Shoe, you know,
Vinny the Shoe.
because my last name is Shoe in Italian. I'm
That's what
Scarpa.
that is, Scarpa.
It's like a Scarpa.
You come from a fucking family of
gobblers.
cobblers.
Nah, I don't at all. You know how many people have said that? They're like, you come from a family of shoemakers?
You're
I'm like,
nah.
not at all.
Actually, my family doesn't wear shoes.
Right,
That's why
my family
we got that name.
lived on a farm. They did farm shit. I was my ancestors are farmers or some
Really?
shit. Yeah.
You know about your ancestors and shit? Italians talk about their families.
I don't know about my ancestors. I know about like people that I know, like, you know, grandfather, great grandfather, and that's where it ends. That's all I know.
How? When did they come over from the? When did they come over on the Mayflower?
Dude, fucking years ago. Like, you know,
So
I'll tell you
you're not,
what.
like second generation, first gen, like
I'm second.
second gen. So your parents came from Italy.
No, sorry. So third.
Third.
That's third then.
Right,
My
yeah,
grandparents.
Your grandparents came,
Yeah.
so then your parents are first. They were born here.
They were born here.
First generation.
Yeah.
and-
My
oh no, you are second generation.
That's what I mean. Second, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
So my father, where is it? I don't even know.
I'm talking about something out of my ass.
I don't know how
have
that
no
works.
idea.
My dad's parents, or my dad's dad, really. My dad's dad came from Italy. My dad's mom from here. My mom's parents from here. But it's all mixed up.
Yeah.
It's all mixed up. I actually have a little bit of Irish in me, but don't
All right,
tell
would you do a
nobody.
fucking 23andMe and to find out?
No, not at all. I just know my grandmother. She's like 50% Irish or whatever. So that makes me like, I don't know, 17.
Yeah, 17 a quarter. I don't know the fucking breakdown.
Yeah,
of the
I have no
numbers.
idea.
People find that shit out on 23andMe and right away they're like at St. fucking Patrick's Day parade. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking Irish.
I am 23 and me. I am 23 and hi, I'm me.
I mean, it's me.
I am me. Right. I didn't do that. I haven't done that ancestor shit. My entire family did, and supposedly we have like French in us and shit. Like
Yeah.
somewhere.
I don't want it to be spoiled, bro. Right now I'm 100% Puerto Rican, and that's
Dude.
the way I want to keep it.
Right? I just tell people I'm Italian. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get into, well, I have like a percentage over here. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
You know
I'm
what
Italian.
Some people think you serve up falafels and shit, but you're fucking
Everybody. They're
Right?
like, what are you, like Middle Eastern or
yeah, yeah. I think it's the brows because you have a fucking aggressive brow.
Hell yeah,
Like
it is.
fucking-
It is the brow line, and it's the
Yeah.
facial structure. And then if I grow in the beard, I look like I'm getting questioned at
What-
the airport for sure. Like,
What part of Italy is your family from?
all over. I'm like the shoelace on the boot, man.
The shoelace on the so south.
No, like the shoelace. You know how just fucking everywhere.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh,
Uh,
all right, I get it. Zipping around,
Zipping
You're
around,
the
zipping
fucking
around.
island.
No, Avellino is like mainly. I have family in Avellino, Napoli. I have some family from like Sicily, so I'm like a little Sicilian. You know what I'm saying?
My two most serious relationships were with Italian women, and my ex-wife. I think I can say ex-wife because I signed my side of the
You can
divorce
say
papers,
whatever
right?
you want.
So I don't know. Bro, I get so
say what you
confused.
want.
I still fucking. I'm like when I talk at work and shit. I'm like, if I'm bringing it up, I'm always like my wife, and then they're like,
My
that's
wife.
not your wife anymore. Get over it. No, but my ex is she's Sicilian,
Okay.
right? And then my ex before her was Northern
Yeah,
Italian.
you
I don't
like those
remember where.
fucking Italians,
But the
huh?
Northern Italians, they're fucking snobs, huh?
Snobs. Northern Italians are snobs, but Sicilians, they're fucking.
But Sicilians are scrappy.
Yeah,
Sicilians are scrappy as fuck. Sicilians are Puerto Ricans from Europe. Like that.
yeah,
they're
right.
fucking.
They'll bark at
The families are very, very
I had
similar.
to think about where Puerto Rico was for a second. I'm not a
close
geographer.
off the Isle of close off the tip of Florida. Like it's an hour and a half from Florida.
Still like
on a flight.
America's like land or some shit, right?
America's bitch for sure.
So you're Puerto Rican, and then you dated Italian. That's
Dated Italians.
and you have a kid. You have
We have an Italian
You have
and
Italian,
half
Puerto
Italian, half Puerto Rican daughter.
That's a
I'm
mix,
fucking-
bro.
I'm fucked,
Yeah,
bro.
you're fucked, dude.
And she goes to school in Patterson. So
Oh,
now she goes to
shit.
school with all these
She's
Spanish
a baller,
kids.
bro. She's gonna be a baller.
She wants to learn Spanish. And I'm like, you're coming to the wrong person.
Right, right.
I know curse words and shit. Like I learned Spanish in school,
Yeah,
right? I had this deal with my Spanish teacher that I wouldn't disrupt the class because I was notorious for fucking classes up
yeah.
until I got thrown out, right? I had my history teacher, when I used to walk in, he'd have the disciplinary slip. And he'd have it half filled out
Have it
already.
ready?
He'd be like, I'm ready for you. Whatever you want to do today,
Pens
I'm ready
clicked.
for you. Yeah. He's like, just let me know when you want to go.
You're like, I'm gonna sit down and keep my mouth shut for a
No,
second.
but I would test him so much. I hated him because he was just so boring. I love history, but he was just so boring. And then he was old, and he had the hair around the side with like he had the bald, like the shoe hair.
Oh my!
It was
like
gray.
The spot in the middle
And
is
he
just
was
all.
skinny,
Oh man!
but he had this big belly, bro. Like he was pregnant. I think he had like worms or something. Like
Worms? He had worms?
something, bro.
Hell
Because
yeah.
his shit was fucked up. And
Like,
used
shut
to
up, you worm!
I used to terrorize him so fucking much. I forgot. I think his name was Mr. Smith, actually, and I think I called him Mr. Smithers because he had that fucking hair like Mr.
Smithers.
No, that's not Mr. Burns.
Mr.
That's what I
Burns?
called him, Mr. Burns, because he looked like Homer's boss. He had that
Yeah.
hair like that. That's exactly how he had his fucking hair, bro.
Mr. Smith taught you Spanish.
Yes.
That's
No. Mr. Smith was the history teacher, but I was just notorious for getting thrown out of classes. Every time I talk about like school and how bad I was, I always bring him up because he would just have that. He already knew I was going to be into some shit.
Did you get like some laughs in that class though?
Oh, I used to get laughs all the time.
Dude,
that was
and
my.
that was your
fucking shit.
highlight
I
of the-
fed off.
of the
Yeah,
day.
bro. I fed off of that shit,
Yeah.
bro. But in Spanish class, I had this teacher. She was notorious for being like a badass. Like nobody fucked around in her class because she'd fail you like this.
Hell yeah, she'd punch you in the mouth.
Yeah,
behind
she was bad, and she just had a serious attitude, and she'd get mad. I don't know what kind of she spoke like 8 languages. So she taught French, she taught German, she taught Spanish, she taught Italian.
high school.
Yes, bro.
That's crazy.
We didn't have
She don't belong
German.
there.
Yeah, she didn't. We didn't have German. I think they got rid of French by the time I got to high school. But she used to teach French, but she taught German privately. Like she was a tutor for German for kids in college that did German and shit. But she taught Spanish and Italian in our school. And in Spanish class, she pulled me after school after class one day because she kicked me out. And I got up and walked across all the desks and left, right?
You're like, fuck these
Yes,
desks.
I got up and I was just like, all right, I'm leaving. And I fucking stomped across the desk and left.
You're a little shit.
It was like, I was also an asshole. Like I wasn't only a clown. I had a bad attitude.
Oh,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? To
That
match
Puerto
it.
Rican
So
attitude.
I would be like funny sometimes, but then other times I'd just be obnoxious.
Yo, no wonder why though she didn't fuck around, bro. She was just underqualified
Yeah,
or
bro.
overqualified to work that position.
She couldn't deal with me, but she made a good deal with me. She struck a fucking deal for the good of her class.
You're making deals with all these
Yeah,
teachers.
bro.
What kind of deal you made?
She's like, listen, these
Fucking-
kids need to learn, right? Because this is around the time when they made it so that you had to do 2 years of a language to graduate.
Yeah.
So she's like, these kids need this class to graduate. She's like, I will let you sleep in class. I won't bother you. You could sleep every day in my class, and I won't bother you, and I'll just fail you at the end of the year. And then I was like, deal.
Wait,
Deal.
what?
Because you know what? This was sophomore year. I had just started smoking weed heavy.
Oh.
So I was like always coming into school
the gateway
late.
drug.
Yes, I was always coming into school late
Uh-huh.
because I was waking up late. So I was like, all right, this is a perfect solution. Now I can come to school on time, and I know that I'll be able to sleep by fourth period. I get a nice fucking 45-minute nap.
You
I'm
didn't
ready
give
to
a
go for the
shit.
rest of the day, right?
Yeah.
So she thought she was gonna fail me, but the problem is that I took Spanish and I knew Spanish enough to get a C on the midterms and the finals, and she had to give me a D. She couldn't
Hell yeah.
fail me.
Hell yeah.
So I got by.
She was pissed.
Yes, bro.
Fuck.
She'd call everybody. She'd Mr. You. Like that's how she
had
didn't know
an
people's
accent?
names. Yeah. She was old as fuck, bro. She was like
Oh, damn.
70 something already, but she was an active 70-year-old. Like she would fucking turn
Hell
and
yeah.
shit. Like
She
she
did
was
not
no
fit
joke.
there though.
She didn't fucking fit
She was
there,
definitely
bro.
overqualified. She needed. To
She
be
was
in it.
100%.
And she knew
She should have been in
She
like
was
college
fuck
or something.
these kids.
So many kids loved her because she was great at fucking teaching. But were you fucking crazy in school?
Dude, I wasn't bad. I was definitely like a class clown in school. I'll tell you what though. Speaking of, let me take a sip of my Celsius.
Sponsored by Celsius.
Sponsored by Celsius. Live fit. That's our ad for the day. So actually, speaking of like a language class, just jumping over high school, going into college, I took Italian, right? And there was like my high school didn't have Italian; they had like Spanish and like I don't know French. And I was like, Spanish, let's go. And I took Italian in college, and this professor, you recollected my memory. That made sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I get what you're trying to say.
jogged
Whether
my
it's
memory.
right, whether
You
it's right or
jogged my-
not, I don't know.
Yeah. You reminded me.
Yeah.
You reminded me that of this professor because, dude, he was a little fucking dweeb, right? And he was like an Italian guy, but he wasn't from Italy or anything. And he's teaching Italian, and he's teaching like real structured Italian, And so the first rules that he had in this class was no eating or drinking. I was like, what kind of fucking Italian are you? So just to push his buttons, I brought in like a pot, like pasta, like a Tupperware pasta, and I'm just eating it. And he always would call me Vincenzo. He was like, Vincenzo, you mind saving that for after class? I was like, yeah. And then, I made the whole class laugh all the time. You get kids laughing behind me, like fucking like hiding their laugh. And he's like, no, like, do you really, like, do you mind closing that up? And I was like, yeah, I do. I'm kind of hungry. I fucked around so much in that class because fuck him. He disrespected the shit out of me and my family. I'll tell you what. We were talking about saying like yo capisco, which is like you like I understand, right? Mm-hmm. But like a slang for Italians is like capiche, you ever heard of it? Like,
Yeah,
capiche,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
So
no capiche.
Right. Yeah. So I just brought it up. I was like, what about capiche? And he was like, yeah, capiche is kind of like he's like no one uses that.
He's fucking Northern Italian. That's what that guy is.
Exactly. He's a snob. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's kind of like you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, so you're saying my grandfather, who's straight from Italy, you don't know what he's talking about? Okay. I was like, okay. From there out, I was like, fuck this guy. I messed around in that class. Yeah, dude, I messed around. I didn't learn shit. He was a terrible teacher. I didn't learn shit. I learned how to like read the Three Little Piggies book in Italian, and that's about it. I got nothing out of that class except a couple laughs. Yeah. So fuck that class.
Yeah, some material. That's what you got out of that class.
Mm-hmm.
I learned like proper Spanish from that class. I don't even know how, because I slept more. No, you know what? I had this other teacher, because I only had Miss Washburn for 1 year. I could say her name. She's dead now, probably. But there was this other teacher, Miss. Oh man, I hated this lady with a passion, because for like that same reason. I don't know. It's something about some teachers that they make you look like, I don't know, they look down at you, or they just, I don't know, they make you feel like they think you're better than you or something. You think you're better than me? Like,
exactly. You think you're better than
you
me?
think you're fucking better than me?
You realize that as a
yeah, but it's like, I don't know what it was, something about her. This like, but you know what? I also really felt, and this took me a long time to get over, but I always felt uncomfortable around white people.
What?
Like, I really
Do
did.
explain.
Yes. I until this day, like even sometimes now when I see the room is like really white before I go up, I'm like, all right, these people are not gonna like me. I already assumed they're gonna judge me, right? Because when I, like, growing up, I grew up in Hackensack, right? I grew up like a very mixed neighborhood. It was a lot of black people. I grew up around a lot of black people, some whites, a lot of Spanish people.
Oh yeah, so you got the streets behind you.
Like, race was never something that I thought of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People, when they would snap jokes, they make fun of your clothes, they make fun of your hair, you know, and shit like
it's
that.
Nothing about like your background.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I lost my innocence walking home from fucking grade school one day, and this kid started making fun of my Japs, right? Which the fucking Japs are sneakers that weren't like name brand or something. I had the Velcro sneakers, you know. I'm a fucking kid. I was like 8, 9 years old, maybe. Yeah. And he was like, "What are you fucking rocking these Japs?" And that was the first time I ever felt like insecurity.
Like, damn.
And I was like, "Oh shit,
I'm
not wearing them."
tight.
Like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, they're fucking sneakers, bro.
Right,
you know, my mom bought these for them. They got He-Man on them and shit. Like, what the hell do I care about?
Oh shit, they had He-Man on them. Get out of here.
What do I care about? Like, shit, they're like rocking the Reeboks and shit, you know? So I never thought anything of it. But then when I moved from Hackensack, we moved to Carlstadt. And in Carlstadt, it was really heavy Italian. And
is that right?
That was the first time people called me Spick and shit. Like, that was, they started with the race shit.
That started immediately.
Yeah, bro, that shit, you know, in their defense, I did go to school the first day with a leather jacket and my hair fucking spiked.
Hell yeah.
Like spiked gel. So I
just got done reading The Outsiders.
Yeah. These kids,
You're like, stay golden, pony boy.
It was the first day of 6th grade. It was
hell, you were definitely
6th grade.
Definitely just got done reading The Outsiders.
Bro. And
it was around that time.
They were like, I forgot. Oh no, you know why I was in the leather jackets? Because of Bret the Hitman Hart.
Hell yeah, Bret Hart,
bro.
Yes,
like,
sir.
I was I wanted to be Bret the Hitman Hart so bad, bro, because I just thought it was cool. He used to come up and be like, you know, kids would be calling me Spick, and I'm like, what are you calling me Spick for? You know,
yeah. What are you calling me Spick for?
I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You know, like, but they and I just felt like an outsider. All these kids grew up with each other. Yeah, right. All these kids grew up with each other. I just want to bite somebody in the neck. I just
you kept the comb on. You like,
yeah, it's all right. One day they'll fucking know.
Bro, I didn't. I tried to take I fucked that leather jacket up. That was a nice leather jacket, and I wanted to put a design. It was just plain. I wanted to put a design on the back, and I used whiteout to draw like a picture. I don't know what the hell I tried to draw on it, but I ruined the whole back of it. I still have a baseball card. You know those baseball card binders?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I had that, and
I had a Pokemon card, one of those.
It has whiteout all over it because that's what I used to draw with.
Draw
that some fucking I didn't have markers or anything, so I was just drawing with whiteout and shit.
You run out of whiteout and you just go into the teacher's desk.
Yeah, I just would steal whiteout.
Here's some color.
Go home and draw with it. I don't know what I drew on the back, but I had to throw that fucking jacket out. My mom was so mad. I don't even know where it came from, but that was when I started feeling like really insecure around white people, because then I thought all white people just look down on you, right? So then I became racist against white people.
Especially when there's like a room full of them.
Yeah.
I feel like they're all like...
It brings up that feeling like I'm around, like I'm the outsider again.
But you can pull off like...
Italian, for sure. Everybody thinks
Spanish,
I'm Italian.
Yes,
because I grew up Italian, then I moved to Hasbrook Heights. From there, my mom had to move because I couldn't take it no more. Like, it got so bad
You got really that got that
Yeah,
bad?
bro. It got better because one of my black friends found me. Right?
He found you.
Yeah.
Come here, motherfucker. you come with me, man.
Dude, it's a crazy story because it was one day after the park. I had went down to the baseball field in Carlstadt, and everybody was at the park, and like I was trying to hang out, and they like fucking chased me out of there. Not like violently, but I couldn't take jokes. I wasn't good at joking.
Yeah.
Right? My daughter's going through this now where these kids snap on her and stuff, and she like can't make jokes
Well,
back.
if you were in the minority, I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but, and I couldn't make jokes. I couldn't crack jokes back. I didn't have that muscle developed. So I would just go home with the L and feel like really bad. Meanwhile, when I look back at it, they probably were trying to like bring me in, like, you know, like that way.
Yeah.
Like if
Recruit
I would
you.
just,
Like,
I just had to take my
how tough
lumps.
are you?
You know what I mean?
Like
Like that's how kids are. They haze you, and then once you're in, or somebody else comes in you.
Once you punch back, they're
Well,
like, all right.
There was even these twin fucking Japanese girls that used to get in on it. Like,
Get the fuck out.
they were the outsiders before me. So when I got there, they were like, "Fucking yes."
Tell me what would they say? What would they come on?
They would just be like, they would call me Spick too. Like
No
it was like,
way.
bro. It
You
was
a
like,
Spick?
yeah. They would just be like. Calling me Spick and shit, and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, we're supposed to, you should band with me, but,
Right,
like,
right.
They were trying to, I ended
Like,
up
nah,
like,
fuck you.
oh, they would invite me to parties and stuff, like their birthday parties,
yeah.
like,
And try to rag on you at the party.